everyone. I'm Cori with the New Parent Support Program here at Hohenfels, and I had a lot of requests from you guys about doing a video or giving information on cloth diapers. So I've got all my stuff out here today, and I'm going to give you a pretty good overview and touch on all the different aspects of cloth diapering. I can go into a lot more detail with this stuff with you guys. I do want to preface, if any of you mamas have cloth diapered before, a lot of this is from my own experience and what worked for our family. You may talk to some other moms who cloth diapered who have some very different opinions. I'm going to give you the facts and then what my experience was, so you can kind of take the information as you need it, okay? All right, so let's get started. First, I'm just going to show you the different types. Okay, so your basic, simple, all-in-one. This is the closest thing to a disposable diaper. It's just all one piece, and you just put it on the baby just like a disposable. And you strap it on them, and that's it. You know, when it's dirty, you just change it, and you put it in the wet bag, okay? There are a couple different types of all-in-ones as well. I think there's this one that has different flaps. This is a Bongenius all-in-one. This is a Thirsties all-in-one. There's many different brands. It's hard to say what the best brand is because every baby is different also. Different ones might fit your baby differently. They might be a heavy wetter, all these different things. So what I recommend for that is getting a few different kinds and seeing what works for you. And if you get lucky and what you try works for you, then stick with that. All right, so another type that we have is pockets. These are a little cheaper. The all-in-ones are going to be your most expensive. Pockets, you can stuff them with different types of fillings. Okay, generally they will just come with one microfiber stuffer. All right, so when you're doing your diaper laundry, you gotta stuff it in there. It's a little more work than the all-in-ones. But then, once it's stuffed, you can just grab it and put it on your baby and treat it just like an all-in-one. Just slap it on there and you're ready to go, okay? Next, we also have covers, okay? These ones, you just lay the insert in there, and you can have different kinds of inserts, okay? The way I did it was I used a pre-fold, and I would just lay it in there and put it on her. It kind of looks funny without having a baby to put it on, but that's the gist. You lay it in there, it does fit inside there. Maybe I can do it with a smaller one. Like that. You lay them inside and then it just absorbs it, and then when you take it back off of them, you just put it all in there. You can actually reuse your cover. If this was the only thing that got gross or wet or whatever, you can just put another fresh pre-fold in there. So that's kind of cool. If you're looking for saving money, this is going to be your cheapest version. This or flats. I don't have an example of flats, but basically what a flat is it's a huge sheet that you fold up to look like this. That was just too much work for me, so I just went with pre-folds. Okay, let's see. Okay. All right, another option that I didn't end up using very much, but I did buy it just to kind of try it, was for nighttime or for heavy wetters, kids who pee a lot at once, you can get these things called fitteds, where this whole big thing is all absorbent. It's kind of made out of pre-fold material, and you put it around your baby. It's got snaps on it, and then you can put a wool cover on them, and the wool is breathable. Now the wool can be kind of high maintenance. You can't just wash it however you want. You have to have lanolin and do all this stuff. I'm not really an expert on this. I tried it a couple of times and just decided I'm not that level of cloth diaper. I was more into the easy part. So you can definitely look more into this. If any of you other cloth diapering moms did this or have any tips, please comment, help the other moms out, okay? But this is an example. We actually didn't end up enjoying cloth diapering at night, especially as she got older and didn't need to be changed as often at night as she did as a newborn. So we just part-time cloth diapered. At night we would put her in a regular old disposable. I was not an exclusive cloth diaperer. I always kept a pack of disposables just for my sanity, but if you want to be a strict cloth diaperer, go for it. That's amazing. That's better for the environment. It saves a lot of money. Go for it. I just didn't want to worry about her waking up wet. I wanted her to sleep if she was asleep. All right, what else do we have? Okay, there's also an option that I don't have a specific example for, but they're called all-in-twos. And basically what it is the microfiber insert or whatever insert you have, it snaps into what kind of looks like a cover. And you snap it on there and you put it on there that way, and then you can just change out this, much like a pre-fold. I didn't really see the point. I just used a pre-fold that I already had. I wasn't going to buy even more stuff. So another point that I want to make is if you do get microfiber inserts, you cannot have the microfiber side touching the baby's skin. Okay, so if you're using microfiber, it has to go in a pocket, or it has to be the ones that have two different sides like this. This side is cotton and this side is microfiber. And you put the microfiber side in so that it's not touching the baby's skin. It's way too absorbent. It can cause a rash. You don't want it. So don't do that. Let's see. Okay, so next, there's also the issue of newborn cloth diapering. So there are a few options for that too. So newborns aren't going to be in newborn size for very long. So the most cost efficient way to do newborn cloth diapering is to buy some little tiny newborn size pre-folds and put them in a cover. Okay, I did a little example of this on a baby doll. You can wrap these little ones around your baby like this and use a snappy and clip it on. I prefer snappies because they're not sharp like pins, but you can use pins if that's what you prefer. But these things are pretty cool. They just hook right on, and then you can take them off. They just unhook, and then you take it off. Okay, they're pretty cool. But yeah, you will need to buy different sizes of pre-folds, but to get started you could start with newborn, or if you know you make bigger babies, you can get started with the small size. But they're way cheaper and super absorbent and natural fibers, so it's a really good cost efficient way to do it. If you want to just have fun and have really cute tiny diapers for your newborn, which I did, I bought a few of them, there's a couple of different options there. I really like these by Imagine. They're just adorable tiny little diapers. They fold over so that when you wash them, they're really easy to wash. Okay, they kind of come apart there, and they're just adorable on your tiny little baby. I liked these ones the best. I did have some that were all one piece. These are Little Joeys by Rumperoos, and they're all one piece, but they take way longer to dry. Okay, these ones were better because in the dryer they come apart. This tab part can come off. It's much better. It can, you know, flop around in the dryer, or if you're hanging to dry them, you can dry it like this. It doesn't take anywhere near as long. This one was so thick, I would have to run it in the dryer multiple times or leave it out to dry for days and days and days, and I don't have time for that. So I didn't really like those. They're cute though. I'll probably put them on my next baby, but they're not the first ones that I'll reach for. All right, let's see. Okay. So there's also a bunch of different options to use within these things. Okay, for example, I've mentioned a couple of times that there's different materials. I talked about the microfiber versus the cotton pre-folds. There are also inserts that you can get, such as bamboo. This is a bamboo insert. This is a natural fiber. It holds a lot more liquid before you need to change the baby, but it doesn't absorb as quickly as microfiber. And it takes a lot longer to dry also. These are ones that I used to have to take out of the dryer and then lay out for a while we used our other quick drying stuff. This wasn't my favorite, but some families love them, especially if their kids are heavy wetters. My daughter was not a heavy wetter. Also, there's the difference between, I don't know if you've noticed as I've been holding these up, but some of them have Velcro and some of them have, let's see, this one has snaps. Okay, the Velcro and the snaps, these are also that your kid can wear them from when they're really small to when they're toddlers. All right, my daughter used these from probably about 4 or 5 months until she was almost 3. We've gotten a ton of use out of these, and I'm really excited to use them again. The reason why we have multiple different kinds was I actually really liked the Velcro. I found it a lot easier because it sort of reminded me of a disposable. Like, you just slap it on there, you don't have to figure out any of that. And especially my husband loved the Velcro. So with these, you can see how somebody trying to help you out or isn't the main person doing the cloth diapering might not know exactly which set of snaps they're supposed to be on. So they might put them on wrong or something like that. I was the one home most of the time with our first daughter, so I knew what to do. So we made sure to have a bunch of these as an option too, so that he didn't have to worry about that. He just put it on so that it was snug and comfortable, and he was on his way. Let's see. Another option is if you're using covers like I talked about. Some better quality ones will have these gussets in the legs so that if they're cruising around or the cover is a little big, it'll hold in more. Whereas this cover does not have it. It's just elastic. It might be a little bit more open. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to leak. It all depends on how it fits your baby. But I really liked the gussets, especially since my daughter was pretty tiny when she was born. She was only 6 pounds, 12 ounces. So this looked huge on her, but it did do the job. It fit. And I think that this had a lot to do with it. Let's see. Finally, another option is cloth wipes. Some people that cloth diaper don't bother with cloth wipes. We normally used regular wipes, but we did have a set of cloth wipes. My mother-in-law actually made these out of just flannel, and we actually really liked them. It was nice to just spray a little water on her or spray it on here and just wipe it off and not, constantly have, I don't know, chemicals or whatever's on those wipes. Depends on what kind of wipe you're using, but sometimes it's nice to just use plain old water and not worry about a bunch of stuff. One thing I do want to point out also is with cloth diapers, you cannot use diaper creams, like commercial diaper creams such as Desitin or butt paste or any of those types of things. You really want to stick with probably just coconut oil. There are probably a couple of other options out there that our fellow moms can tell us about if they have any tips. We just stuck with coconut oil. You just want to be really careful about what you put on these materials. If you do accidentally put any of those other items on there, there's a whole special washing thing you can go through to strip it. It hasn't totally ruined it, but there's things you can do to fix it. It's just not the easiest thing to do. So that was one thing I had to make sure my husband knew. Coconut oil only if she needs cream. And finally, I'm just going to touch on washing your cloth diapers. Many people use a diaper service. I haven't heard of one around here. I know there may have been one in the past, But with my daughter, we just washed them at home. We didn't use a diaper service. There's a lot of information out there on washing your cloth diapers. First of all, so when you take off the diaper, you're not going to throw it in the garbage. You want to put it in what's called a wet bag. The way we did it was we had a hanging wet bag and we hung it on a hook. And we had a few of these so that when one filled up, we could take it to the laundry room and put it on. Or when it started to stink, obviously, you know, we would take it on. But I liked that this one zipped and sealed and kept the smell in. There's some wet bag systems where it's more like a bag that you put over a garbage can with a lid. We just went with this. You also want to have a smaller wet bag for your diaper bag. We had a few of these as well. If you plan on cloth diapering out and about. In the beginning, we didn't cloth diaper out and about until I was a little more used to it. When we would go places, we would just switch her into disposables. But some people are a little more serious about cloth diapering and only use cloth diapers, so you'll want to have this to bring with you. Let's see. Also, so if you exclusively breastfeed, you do not need to spray the poop off of the diaper. Breast milk poop is water soluble, so it'll just completely wash out in the wash. If you formula feed or when you start introducing solids, you do need to get rid of all of the poop off of the diaper before you put it in your washer, or else it'll be disgusting. So what we used was a sprayer. You just spray the poop right into the toilet. It sounds pretty gross, but it was actually not that big of a deal. You know, changing kids' diapers, you're already dealing with a ton of poop, so by the time this came around, I was pretty immune. I'm just like, okay, it's poop, whatever. One thing that I did get that you don't need, but that I loved, was this thing. It's called a Spray Pal. They also have different versions of these things out there, but you clip the dirty diaper in here, and it hangs, and then you grab your sprayer, so that when you're spraying, it doesn't spray all over the bathroom or anything in case you get a hit in a spot where it's like, this thing was awesome. Also, to get like big pieces off of there, have a little designated spatula, and don't get this confused with other things in the house. This is the poop spatula. And you just gotta get the big chunks off of there. Obviously there's gonna be like little skids and stuff on there. I mean, you don't have to perfectly clean it, but you don't want big hunks of poop in there to get into your washer. And so what you do to wash your diapers is you put all your diapers in your washing machine. You put it on the shortest load. I would put mine on hot, and if you have any extra wash settings, just click them off, but you just want the first wash to be short. You put a full cap of your detergent. I highly recommend just regular Tide. There is tons of information on wash routines out there, and what the overwhelming opinion is that regular Tide is the good stuff. You don't want to go cheap on your detergent. Again, this is something that a lot of different moms might have totally different opinions on. Like, for example, I have sensitive skin, so I'm actually more likely to keep this in the house. So sometimes I used this. I especially use this when the baby's a newborn and things like that, so that they're not sensitive to scents. So we did use this sometimes, but that was the stuff, the kind in the red bottle, no bells and whistles, just original, plain. You don't want to use any fabric softener or any of that, because it'll leave a residue on your diapers and it can mess up the absorbency. So anyways, you wash it on the quick one, and then after that's done, you want to reach in there and unstuff any of your pockets. Okay, a lot of the times the first wash will have agitated out the pocket anyway, so that's excellent. But this way, if you do it on the second load, you don't have to be reaching in and unstuffing gross nastiness. You just wait until it's relatively clean and then you can unstuff it. Also, you want to fluff up any pre-folds that you have. You know, they might have still been in their original form in there. So you want to shake them out, kind of fluff them up in there. You can also add any of your baby's clothes. Like just add random baby dirty clothes. You want the wash to be closer to full. The more you have in there to agitate against each other, the cleaner your stuff will come. So for example, if it was sort of a smaller load, but I didn't have, you know, it wasn't big enough for me to feel like it was gonna get clean, I would just take clean pre-folds that were sitting there and I just throw them in there with them, just so it had more to agitate with it. You can also throw random like towels or something like that. But then you want to put it on your longest, hottest, extra super settings of everything that your washer has. You also want to use Calgon here in Germany. We have hard water. Back in the States, they'll ask you to test your water and figure out all this stuff. But here in Germany, we know it's hard water. Use a full cap of Calgon in both sets of loads. You need it to be softened. And then after all of that is washed, you can put them in the dryer. That's sort of personal preference. Some people really want to take really extra care of them, so you can hang them up to dry them. You know, just open them all up, let them air out and dry. I just dried mine on low. I thought that was a good medium, you know. But there is so much to talk about with cloth diapers. I think I've covered the basics. I have a lot more information about them, but we could be here all day. Once you get the hang of it, it's really not that bad. This can seem like a lot of information, but we just kind of started slow. And, you know, like I said, I kept some of these around for when I didn't feel like dealing with it. I was like, whatever, just put this on her, you know. And then I ended up working out. You know, we stuck with it for 3 years, so it was pretty exciting, and I really enjoyed it. So I say give it a shot. You know, if you don't like it, you can donate them to charities. There are a lot of charities out there who accept cloth diapers that can give to needy women who can't afford their children's diapers, men or women, families. So yeah, like I said, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to reach out to me. I can answer all kinds of stuff, or I can refer you to places where you can get the information that you need. A couple of websites that I really love that have a lot of great introductory information are Nikki's Diapers and Green Mountain Diapers. Yeah, I think that's about all I got on cloth diapers for today. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. All right, thank you. Bye, everybody.